I really would like to gather my content for my story, ma'am. Like I'm an independent.
I need you to sit down and stop disrupting the business of our office.
Because they're afraid of being held accountable. P. Barnes.
It's a nice speech, but you're still not coming in.
Let the record show that you just battered me.
Step back.
And you're using...
Welcome to the John Ligato Show. I'm John Ligato. This is our auditor. He's a bottom feeder in the auditor food chain.
Federal law prohibits picture taking in on federal property without the verbal express written consent of an authorized official of the occupying agency.
You know, you can't unfortunately record in a federal facility. Please stop recording per that policy on the wall.
I'm sorry, I can't do that. I'm an independent journalist.
The judge implied that I was just going around harassing people and calling it journalism.
I'm an independent journalist.
Okay.
I'm gathering content for a story.
I understand that,
on
sir.
this building.
So I understand. Since this is a federal Social Security Administration, unfortunately you can't record inside a federal facility.
Okay, federal? You said federal?
U.S.
So taxpayers fund this, right?
Correct.
Correct. So
okay, so that's the policy. Are you going to be able to not record in this federal facility?
No, sir. I gotta gather content for my story.
Okay, unfortunately you cannot. You're going to have to leave, please.
I refuse to do that. I'm not breaking no laws.
We're going to have to contact the police if you're not willing to stop recording.
Okay, is it the sheriff's department or is it Pueblo Police?
I'll go ahead and call the police for you.
Go ahead. You can go ahead and do that.
It's the age-old story, the chicken or the egg, policy versus law. Well, federal law prohibits filming inside a Social Security office. And it amazes me that even after frauditors are advised of this specific federal law, they have denial syndrome.
It does say that you do need the permission of the occupying agency in order to film inside, whether for commercial or non-commercial purposes. It does require the permission, either oral or written. Medicare is part of Social Security, therefore any place where they're talking about Social Security would be subject to the rules on confidentiality.
This seems clear enough, but even with laws in recent court cases like U.S. versus Cordova, auditors continue to audit SSI offices. And what's more frustrating is that some security and police allow it.
I knew we would have problems here.
Yes, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm the manager, Leslie Montoya, and it's our policy to not have you videotaping on federal property.
Yes, ma'am. Well, policy doesn't trump my First Amendment right, respectfully, ma'am. Freedom of press.
I believe that it does. It applies to everybody.
I believe that it does.
It applies to everybody. We have signs up
I
indicating.
can show you the statute.
We have signs up indicating that you cannot videotape
That's
on
a
federal
sign.
property.
So like if you put a sign up that says no fat guys allowed, that can stand in court.
Sir,
That's a law.
you're mixing words here.
No,
That is our
ma'am, I'm
policy.
not.
So I
No.
need you to stop recording, or we're gonna have to ask you to leave.
Policy's not law, ma'am.
All right.
I hope the police can educate you guys on our First Amendment rights.
We'll get back to this SSI office in a minute, but let's see how far auditors go to violate laws. Now, this rocket scientist, he should actually go to jail for what you are about to see.
A little background on this story. We're going to the Social Security office today, and we are trying to get this little baby's name changed to her actual last name. You may call me an auditor, you may call me a newscaster, you may call me a normal guy or a tourist. Any of it, it's up to you. It's all subjective. There's one thing that I know, that we absolutely love to film. We'll see you in the Social Security office.
Now, in law enforcement, this is called an on-the-record pre-alibi, because that pesky button just has a mind of its own.
Good. On the edge. Yeah.
Are you recording?
Why?
Okay. I just want you to be aware there's signs and stuff, but Social Security is pretty strict about their policies with recorded devices in their lobbies just because of the PII nature at the windows.
PI, personal information?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's like, so if I need to take notes, like, I mean, we've been going through this for like 10 months or whatever, and they keep sending like stuff back, and so all the paperwork for my wife is in here.
Okay.
And so it should all be like, punch the buttons, but if they don't, then I was planning to turn it on and be like, can you repeat, like, or say what needs to be done?
Now he's justifying his camera, which he allegedly turned off. But the only reason that he has the camera is to record notes of a meeting in case he forgets stuff.
And so it should all be like, punch the buttons, but if they don't, then I was planning to turn it on and be like, can you repeat, like, or say what needs to be done?
Okay.
Because otherwise, like, then it's the notes I took, and it's just like a straight
Yeah,
recording. I do it
so
for like stuff, and it's never a problem.
I 100% understand what you're trying to get
And
at.
I'm definitely not like trying to get anybody's stuff or like post anything like of anybody's stuff. I mean, I just entered mine over there, so like if any,
That's fine.
I mean, if anything, it's going to be our information for sure.
I'm just telling you their policies that they don't allow any recording devices in the lobby.
Okay, well, I mean,
Obviously people have phones and stuff.
yeah. I mean, it's like I'm wearing it instead of it,
Yeah.
you know, instead of it. I mean, you can tell I don't have hands.
No, I get it.
So, but I mean, I totally get it in the lobby. Like, I'm not trying to record anybody or anything. I'm just trying to record my business at the time. Like, should I need to take notes or, you know.
So with this Code of Federal Regulation, that's just a policy that Social Security has and the vets have when it comes to...
Yeah, no, I'm not arguing. I get that. I'm just like...
Yeah. I understand you're trying to do it for your records.
I mean, can I
get
ask,
that.
and then if they say no, and it, like, then I'll just have to take, like, good old-fashioned pen and paper notes or something?
I mean, you could ask.
So I don't know what the issue is, but now I'm just down here with, like, the paperwork that I mean, I talked to, like, this morning, I was like, everything's here, right? Because, like, I'm just the messenger. She's working. I've got this kid. The other kids are in school, so this is, like, in between when I'm doing the school thing. Okay, well, if it's a problem, I mean, I don't want to be refused service, so if you want me to, like, take it off, I mean, I would prefer to
I'll
be able to have it as,
if
like...
you could do me a favor, you wouldn't mind just kind of storing it in your cooler or whatever.
You want me to just, like, point
store
it...
and then when you get to the window...
This auditor has confused the security officer to the point where he allows him, the auditor, to go to the counter, who'll be surrounded by other customers who are discussing their private information. What you are reading is actually a confession. It's amazing. The GoPro turned itself back on. Wow. After I put it in the backpack. Might as well include some of the audio of our process being completed. It doesn't include any compromising info, so harmless enough.
Hi, Stefano Malea, San Diego criminal lawyer and partner at the law office of David P. Shapiro. Are you allowed to secretly record a private conversation? The answer is no. Doing so could result in felony or misdemeanor charges in some cases. Under Penal Code Section 632, also known as the eavesdropping statute, it is a crime to intentionally record a confidential conversation without the consent of the person speaking.
I'll play just a few seconds of the conversation, which proves a few things. What does it prove? The frauditor was advised of the law. The frauditor confirmed that he knew the law. The frauditor promised the officer that he wouldn't record minus permission of the SSI intake worker. The frauditor never asked permission. Knowing his audio was recording the conversation, the frauditor should go to jail.
Right on. Right here. Not going anywhere. Cool. Sorry, I got the one moment I get distracted. All right. So we are here for her, and we've been trying to do this for like months. Come here. We got me and you. Come here. Here. Say hi to this nice lady. So there was a mistake somewhere in between the hospital and some government. Anyway, so her last name
This is a two-part series, so I'll ask you to tune in tomorrow when we find out what happens. The John Ligato Show is being broadcast from outside the gates of Marine Corps Base Camp Lejeune in beautiful North Carolina. If you like what you saw today, hit subscribe and like. Semper Fidelis.